Salvete omnes, this is I'm Emilia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and Super Mario All-Stars. Oh, the nostalgia. This game was my childhood. Well, this and Super Mario World and the original Donkey Kong Country, and maybe Super Mario Kart. But yeah, this is actually a collection of 4 games. 4 games for the NES. Well, technically one of them was only on the on the Famicom, and they were remade for the Super Nintendo. We have the original Super Mario Brothers. We have the Lost Levels, now available in America for the first time, and there's a black line between the H and the E down there. Did they use the wrong color on the palette or something there? That's kind of weird. We have Super Mario Bros. 2, and we have Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, these first 3, I'll probably get to them eventually, but for now we're just going to ignore them, because we are playing Super Mario Bros. 3 this time. There'll probably be some purists out there who will say you should play the NES original, but no, I shouldn't. Honestly, there's really no reason to play the NES original version of this game if you have access to the Super Nintendo or at least Game Boy Advance version, because they're pretty much better in every way, shape, and form. Also, I pretty much still consider this to be the definitive version of the game, and it was the one I grew up with and the one I have the most familiarity with, so yeah, we're going with this one. Notable differences between this and the original are that we actually have 4 save files now. The NES version did not have a save system at all, which is actually the #1 biggest reason I would consider the Super Nintendo version better. The graphical and music upgrade is just icing on the cake, I suppose. We also actually have a choice of control schemes there. You can switch between them by pushing select. We have Type A for if you're used to the other Super Nintendo Mario games, or most of the other Mario games actually. And we have Type B for if your first Mario game was Super Princess Peach or you were born with your thumbs on backward. Anyway, let's start up File A. The curtain lifts, the Mario Brothers come out, and Luigi jumps on Mario's head. There's sibling rivalry for you. And that had to hurt. We see some classic Mario enemies, and Luigi flings the shell at Mario. Wow, you're nice to your brother. And then Mario flings the shell right back and hits himself in the butt because of screen wrap. Anyway, we have our choice of 1-player game, 2-player game, and battle game. 2-player game, oddly enough, requires 2 players, and I don't have a second player. Probably won't ever do a co-op LP of this game, but I suppose it's a possibility. And battle game also requires 2 players, so that only leaves 1-player game. We start right off at World 1 with 5 lives. We have 6 numbered levels, a fortress, a castle, and some other stuff that I'll get to in a bit. For now, let's start off with 1-1. And I press start there instead of B. Kind of weird, because earlier, like when I was selecting the games, I actually had to press start instead of B to confirm. But yeah, basic grassland level, basic Mario enemies, we have Goombas, we have Koopas, and we have a Venus fire trap over there. Standard Mario stuff, you know how it works. Probably anyway. I think I accidentally despawned that Goomba there. And of course, as usual, red Koopas stay on ledges and green ones fall off of them. Also, we see our first new power-up, the raccoon suit. It allows you to fly, though it's not as overpowered as the cape in Super Mario World is. But pretty much, you can fly up here, get some coins, and a 1-up. And pretty much you can actually fly over a good half the level and more if you go up here, though I'm not going to actually be doing that, because I want to show off as much of the levels as possible. So I won't really be taking any shortcuts unless I double back and take the regular path after that. Pretty much, we can ignore those bouncing Koopas over there, and we have another power-up here if we need it. Also some single tile jumps there, and, wow, that was close. Short-stemmed Venus piranha plants, or piranha plants and Venus fire traps. I mean. Also, in this top block here, we find a P-switch. Super Mario Bros. 3 was the first game to have those, naturally. It introduced those and quite a lot of things, actually. In this game, you can't carry them, and they come out of blocks. But if we fly up here, we can enter this pipe. And we find our first bonus room with coins in the shape of a 3. We can actually get that P-switch a second time if we want to, and I believe I shall. Just because. More coins are good, right? Also, by the way, to use the raccoon suit, pretty much you get a running start until that meter at the bottom fills all the way up to the P and starts blinking like that. And then you hold Y and tap B rapidly to fly. You can actually thwack enemies with the raccoon tail, but it's generally more risky than it's worth. Yes, Mario, shake that booty. Flap that raccoon tail. Flying butt of destiny. Go over here, get a running start, and star! Course clear, you got a card. Star! Yeah, that goal flashes between mushroom, flower, and star, and whichever one is active when you hit it, that's the card you get. If you get 3 of the same card, then you get extra lives. If all 3 of them aren't the same, if you have all 3 different, or 2 the same and 1 different, then you still get 1 extra life, but you can get 2, 3, or 5 if you get 3 mushrooms, flowers, or stars. So it would be wise to do that. Ironically, though, the stars give you the most lives of the 3, and they're actually the easiest to match 3, at least I find them to be so. Pretty much you just take a running start and jump at the goal, I guess. Anyway, on to 1-2, which I would consider a grassland athletic level. It's not really an athletic level, but it uses the music of them, so... Also, we now have pipes that spawn Goombas continuously. And I'll warn you guys up front, I may be a little bit rusty at this game. I haven't played it in a while, nor have I actually played any of the other NES original Mario games in a while. So I might not be quite as used to the stiffer physics and whatnot. I'm kind of spoiled on Super Mario World's physics to some degree, I suppose. And maybe some of the other games. Also, once again, we can hit the P-switch a second time for an amazing dividend of 1 extra coin! I used to have the hardest time getting up those platforms into that pipe when I was a kid. I'm not really sure why. Also, you'll notice that those note blocks, for whatever reason, don't animate when the P-switch is active. I'm not sure if that was an oversight, an engine limitation, or a conscious game design decision. Pretty much the lower path is safer here. And star! Plow through everything! And more star. Also, that thing that just flew by me was another type of Paragoomba. It actually takes to the air and then drops little Goombas on you that stick to you, but we don't have to worry about that because that guy wasn't on screen long enough to do anything. We'll see more of those guys in later levels, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Now, an interesting feature about Super Mario Bros. 3 is you can actually completely skip levels because of the way the overworld map is laid out. So, if I wanted to, I could completely skip over 1-3 and 1-4 and just move right onto the fortress. But I'm not going to do that. For one thing, if you don't do at least one of these levels, you'll miss out on that nice mushroom house over there. And for another thing, I'm going to try to show off every level in the game, so I won't be skipping any. No, not even ones that I really would be tempted to skip. And again, I press start. 1-3 is another grassland level, if you can consider it that. Actually, I guess the bottom of the stage is technically made of wood, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that was a boomerang bro I just knocked out with the shell, and this is rather early in the game for them to be introducing those guys. They have all the problems you'd expect from a video game enemy that spawns projectiles, and I actually didn't realize that power-up was there. Also, smash all of the things. And by things, I mean blocks. Because I like to smash all of the things. I want to smash all of the things. Also OCD. Come on. There we go. And that Koopa is stranded. Bye-bye. Ignoring that Koopa. And now we just pretty much jump over these columns and deal with some more Paragoombas. You know, now that there are Goombas with actual parachutes, are the winged ones still called Paragoombas, or do they actually have a different name now? Another Boomerang brother, and he actually got to do something. Thwack a Goomba with the tail. And I'm actually going to double back here, because there's a bonus room in this level that I didn't go into yet. And the end of the level is actually right over there. Yeah, 1-3 is short. Pretty much all of the levels in Super Mario Bros. 3 are short, and this one's kinda short even by this game's standards. Also very straightforward and linear. This level is so straight it doesn't know how to interior decorate. But hit this invisible spot right here and you get a pink block. Pink note block that launches you into the sky. Into a coin heaven bonus room. This is an auto-scrolling room in the clouds with coins in groups of 7. Also, if you have access to the Flying Butt of Destiny, you can use it here to fly up and get yourself some more coins and a 1-up mushroom. More coins are good, as I said. And that drops you off right by the level exit. More coins here, and yes, I do know about the secret involving this white block. I'm not gonna get it, though, because I'm kind of just trying to take the regular path through the levels right now. I'll probably show that off in an extra video. Like I said, I will be showing off as many secrets as I can find, I guess. If there's any that I miss, well, that's what we have VG maps for. Also, yes, you got to see the star bonus there. Look! Stars! And it did indeed give you 5 extra lives. Or give me 5 extra lives. And now we have a toad house, or mushroom house, whatever you want to call them. Pick a box. Its contents will help you on your way. Yeah, the way this works is, you have these 3 treasure chests, and whichever one you want to take the item from, you press Y in front of. And you get a mushroom, apparently. Yeah, a few of them will always have the same item in all 3 boxes, but most of them tend to be random. And like this first one, you could have gotten a mushroom, flower, or leaf. And of course, if you get a mushroom, it's kind of a letdown because that's not as good of a power-up as the others. But yeah, that's another thing. I won't actually be using any overworld items. I almost consider them a little bit unfair, I guess. And I don't really need them. I think I can do okay without them. Though if my inventory starts filling up to the point where any further items would not be able to fit, I will probably start using them at that point. Anyway, on to 1-4. There are a couple things of note about this level. First, it is what is known as a white mushroom house level. There's one white mushroom house level in each of the first 7 worlds of the game, and if you get a certain number of coins in that level before beating it, then you actually get a special prize. The coin amounts tend to be really strict, too. The second thing is, well, we'll see in a second. Yes, it's an auto-scrolling level. It's our first auto-scrolling level, and it's kind of a difficulty spike after the first 3 levels. Yeah, if you haven't gotten used to the physics of this game by now, you had darn well better do so by the time you reach this level. And the mushroom goes the wrong way. I'm still not entirely sure what determines which direction those mushrooms go. I want to go over here because multi-coin block, and I have to get as many coins as possible for the white mushroom house. There's a power up there if you need it. Now that one up, I actually can get, especially with help of the raccoon suit. Another multi-coin block. And I think I should be good on coins. I'm almost at the end of the level. Yeah, there's the exit pipe. An annoying thing about 1-4 is it places you right next to the end goal, and there's not room to take a running start there. But I managed to pull through and get a star anyway. I hope this recording saves. And there's the white mushroom house. You might be thinking, that doesn't really look white to me, that looks blue. Well, it was monochrome in the NES version because of palette limitations, but thanks to the almighty Super Nintendo, we actually have 120 colors to access in the sprite palette instead of just 24. Or 128 and 32 if you count the transparencies. So let's see what this blue mushroom house has for us. Only 1 box this time, when we get a different message from Toad. Hello, you found my shop of strange and wonderful things. Open it, and we get a P-Wing. The first one of those you'd get without having this would be at the end of World 1. You'd get it from the boss of this world. The P-Wing is useful, but we'll get to that later on when I actually start showing off the power-ups. We have one more bonus here. Oh yes, and I never actually knew about the white mushroom houses as a kid. I found that out much later, that you could actually get that. I'm quite sure I never got enough coins to actually get one growing up. But anyway, now we have to line up the pictures and get a prize, and we only get one try. And this mini-game actually kind of sucks, because the pictures go by really fast, and it's really hard to tell when exactly you're supposed to stop it to get anything. And we have a conehead mushroom, apparently. Yeah, if you don't get all three of them, if you don't match all three of them, you get nothing there. As with the gold cards, you get 2 up if you get a mushroom, 3 for flower, and 5 for star. But anyway, I think we're about done here. I know, maybe I should consider ending the episode with the fortress. Then I could end the next one with the castle, but the world has 8 levels, and I have to split them up evenly, and that was 4. So yeah, we'll be doing the fortress next time. I will see you when we tackle the second half of World 1 next time.